What's good, guys? Welcome back to our midweek review. Right, and this midweek review will update you guys on our bias and obviously what has happened already on the charts. And today I'm be joined by Leo. What's good, Leo?
Hello. Hey, welcome back, guys. Midweek review. This is the economic calendar so far for the week of November 13th to 17th, 2023. Um, so far, we've gone through Monday with a non-event day. Tuesday, we had some pound news and dollar news, CPI. Wednesday, we have CPI for the pound and some red folders for the dollar. And upcoming for the rest of the week, we have unemployment claims on Thursday and just some yellow folders for dollar, a red folder for pound, and a yellow folder for euro. So not too much to end off the week with. It should be a pretty mellow Friday after unemployment claims on Thursday.
Yeah, so let's look forward to the ending of the week here, ending the week strong here. Right. So if you guys are already up for the week, don't push too hard, just take, just end the week in profit. If you do see something you like or you want to try to take something, just lower your risk, right? There's not a lot of news, so you don't expect some dynamic movement that's going to happen. But yeah, let's go over the dollar index first to begin with, right? So first things first, we have this sell side liquidity that got punched lower, right? And then after the review, after the weekly outlook video, I kind of noticed this bearish breaker here, and I saw that how price closed right at the mean of that bearish breaker, and then I was like telling Leo, I was like, this would be kind of crazy, but like I think dollar can run for this low here. And then it kind of did that, ran aggressively. Where I was wanted to see this run lower, I actually wanted to see them turtle soup it, right? But as of right now, it kind of ran lower, extremely deep, taking all the sell side. This one here, these here. So I think this could be potentially the low, right? Or another last run lower here, and then start punching higher for these highs and highs here, right? As of right now, don't I'm not calling out this as a low, but if I see more bullish movement, bullish sentiment going higher, I would be more comfortable calling this out as the low later on. But as of right now, since it's still very close to it, it's near proximity where it can kind of run down again, stop run these lows here, trade deeper into this inefficiency here, and then trade higher is very possible, right? So let's go into lower time frame. We have the dollar index, right? As you can see here, this is where the bearish breaker constant encroachment was, or the mean threshold, right? Price trading up into it. As you can see, look at the bodies, respecting it, trades higher, goes lower, right? Breaks through, like mohawks into it, and then has a massive sell-off here. And then obviously CPI sends us extremely low. Price opens higher, drops lower, stop run here, price runs higher. And I kind of want to see what it wants to do from here. I am anticipating it to start pushing higher and start reaching towards this inefficiency here and start trading up higher into these buy side liquidities. But as of right now, like I said, it is nearing the end of the week, right? If they really wanted to end the week off with another run lower, they could. Not saying it's likely. I just think that if they really wanted to, they could, just for another quick stop run and then start punching higher. Something like that can definitely happen. But overall, I'm starting to favor dollar index being bullish, right? I want to see them start punching higher. And I see that a lot of people who got into this run here that did not exit out their trade, it's going to start slowly trading against them and really start punching higher and start reaching for buy side liquidity here, right? And I think that would be my outlook for index for the midweek update, right? I'm going to go into Euro USD, right, to show you guys EU. So EU kind of did the exact opposite of Dixie. It ran higher, taking out buy side here, trading through this inefficiency here, right? And trading all the way up into this up candle here, right? And as of right now, price is starting to retrace lower. There's still buy side there, right? We can kind of see how price traded very nicely to that top of that wick right there. And price kind of dropped down here, pushed higher, open, just start running higher. As of right now, I'm looking for EU to start punching lower, trading down into this candle here. Maybe even get through these lows. I don't really expect that to drop that much immediately. I kind of want them to see slow movement through it, like down candle, up candle, down, down, up, down, down, up, and then slowly get through these lows here. I'm not expecting like a big drop off. I kind of want to see price like kind of push like this higher. You see that, like how this big down candle starts pushing price higher here, throw some wicks, pushing higher eventually. This is kind of want to see on the opposite end where it's starting to punch lower and lower and lower. Takes maybe 3 or 4 days to get through that, get to this low here, and then really eventually get down the sell side here. There's still sell side resting below these lows here, which you guys can pull up on your chart later. But yeah, as of right now, that'll be kind of my midweek update for EU, right? We have the lower time for EU. Sell side liquidity here, looking for price to trade through into that level here. Midnight New York is opening soon. There's still buy side liquidity up here, right? I think it's very unlikely for them to run up here, right? But I wouldn't say it's impossible. So be aware of that. I am favoring a run into the sell side liquidity here first, right? And if it does take that, I'm not saying, oh, if it takes this, it's gonna run buy side. I'm not saying anything like that at all, right? So just because, for example, let's say price drops lower, runs into the sell side liquidity here, or trades into this inefficiency, don't be like, oh, Alan said there's buy side here. Let me buy this. Do not buy it. I'm just telling you, right? Do not buy it. Right. Just wait for it and wait until if you see something that's nice and favorable for you to buy, then you can maybe buy it. Right. If there's nothing there, don't trade it. Very simple. Right. Just wait for it. Because like I said, I think EU can start pushing lower now really aggressively. But there's still buys out here that I'm noting out that it could run up into. Right. And that should wrap up EU. Right, we'll go into GU, right? So GU daily, a little bit more aggressive, as you can see. Price runs higher very aggressively, takes out buy side, trades through buy side here, trades up into these levels here. Price then rejects really aggressively, punches lower here, right? As of right now, GU looks like more of the pair that can consolidate, while EU looks like the pair that can go lower, right? Because GU kind of had a nice reaction from this, and I think this is where they can start building sentiment, maybe do a stop run and then run lower, right? Overall running down to sell side down here, right? That's kind of what I'm anticipating for a potential run lower for GU on a daily, right? Let's move to the lower time frame. So buy side liquidity up here still noting that out, that if they really wanted to, they can get up here. Like I said, I think it's unlikely, but not impossible, right? As you can see, GU kind of ran a lot more deeper back into that range compared to EU. So I wouldn't be surprised if GU kind of consolidated here, threw some wicks up and down, right? Trade a little higher and lower, stuck in a little range to end the week off, while EU started actually pushing lower, right? And then maybe start off the next week with a nice run higher and into a massive sell off for next week. Who knows? Maybe something like that can happen for GU, right? These are some of the levels I noted that are bringing my attention to. This is a Tuesday low, right? Price, I'm looking for price to eventually, if they want to really be animated, they can get down to this level here. Looking at this inefficiency first, right? If you use your fib, you can draw the consequent encroachment of this inefficiency and then draw it out. That can be your first target here, and then maybe just watch it try to trade down the sell side. Not saying it will trade down there, just if it does, it could do that this week, right? But like I said, I'm more favoring GU to kind of consolidate a little bit while EU catches up, right? Since EU is kind of still in the level of premium on their range, right? And GU looks like it's about in equilibrium right now, right? So let's move on from GU. Did you have anything you want to add, Leo, to GU or EU or even Dixie?
For the dollar, yes, a little bit, but it was just the condition where if the dollar couldn't get past um the inefficiency with a lot of speed, like it has to really try to fill in that gap for it to be a low. Yeah. So if it kind of meanders around there, I would favor lower. Yeah.
Yeah. Something like you don't want to see something like this, right?
But I would like to see something like that if it's gonna trade higher and take
Mm,
out, so if if it meanders around the gap, I would stay with the idea that the order flow is still gonna be down.
yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. Let's move on then from Forex. All right. We have crude oil. Go for it, Leo.
Yeah, so this crude oil on the daily, on the outlook, I did mention that I anticipated that the crude oil would move into the SIBI daily imbalance inside that range. Most importantly, the midpoint of that. And as you can see on the daily chart, it has done that. However, I am favoring the low from around last week to get taken out now because of this price action lower here. I don't know if you can see, but really good trading into Monday, poking into the midpoint of that and to the upper 75% quadrant of this imbalance here, whole thing. So you have an imaginary line here, 25, 50, 75. Pokes right into this, around 75% of it, rejects, trades lower. If it didn't trade as low, I'd be like, okay, we can consolidate and I'd look for a run higher. However, because of this imbalance it made down here, I don't know if you guys see Monday's low and Thursday's opening candle here on the daily chart, this imbalance here. I didn't want to put it on the chart because it would overlap, but you guys can mark it out. I would expect some trade into it, bounce off the SIBI daily imbalance low, 77.62, and trade through this this old imbalance here between 75.78 and 74.78. If you guys noticed that there was a slight change in the numbers because we did just have a contract change on crude oil. So moving into the hourly chart for a little bit more detail, we can see that earlier into the week on Monday, we did see bullish order flow into this imbalance range here between 77.62 and 80.75. We do trade into this fair value gap, sell side imbalance, buy side efficiency here. Into Tuesday, price fills this in perfectly, rejects, partially fills in this gap here too, and we can see order flow is very bearish into discount here, take out this low and into this fair value gap as well. So on the daily chart, this area, this is creating that imbalance that I'm talking about. I would like to see price trade into it a little bit more, possibly into this area here one more time, possibly bouncing off 77.62 and running price lower into next week, past the daily buy side imbalance, sell side efficiency here, busy. And for now, I'm not going to try to make too many outlandish claims about what the crude oil is going to do. However, if dollar is going to trade higher, I would expect this thing to trade lower to counter it. Yeah, so that would be my analysis for the rest of the week. I will follow up on that in the next video. On to E-mini S&P 500 futures. I'm going to start you guys off on the monthly here. We do see price trading into the monthly bearish order block here at 453,450, the opening of that. And as we can see later on in the slides, that price does have a certain sensitivity to that level at the moment. So that's the prime context that I'll be operating off of in the lower time frames. So on the daily chart, we do see, following up on the outlook video, we were primarily in here, this range, 440, 4420, 4380, around there. I did mention that on CPI, we could see a large run through this sell side imbalance buy side efficiency here. The best case scenario target would be these relative equal highs here at 451,450. And I did mention a couple scenarios on Monday, Tuesday that could have happened and what I would like to see. So as you can see, we did trade much higher and into a premium into the monthly bearish order block. And I'll further break this down for you guys on the hourly. All right, on the hourly, following up from last week, we see a trade into this inefficiency here, getting out the sell side, allowing price to expand higher. I did mention I had an eye on this level here, as well as the daily volume imbalance marked out in blue here. I did want to see price trade into this level, kind of try to accumulate in here. However, price didn't do that. I think instead they used this level here, the opening here, as a area to accumulate their longs, and later into Monday and Tuesday we see a pretty slow price action. I presume they were accumulating long positions here, especially Monday was a non-event day, so there was not much need for price to move around too much. And into Tuesday CPI, we see that the overnight lows here, price created. We took them out at 8:30. This is the 8:30 candle. Price takes out this low into this area here, and then takes off. Blasting through the sell side imbalance buy side inefficiency into the relative equal highs here at 451,450, and ultimately into the monthly bearish order block at 453,450. And I'd like to bring your attention to that the bodies are respecting this level pretty well, and I'm seeing price sensitivity to this, so that's a good sign if we're going to move into this gap here. Here first, smaller one here, and then depending on how we do on the smaller one, we'll move into this large imbalance here created by CPI. Did you have anything to add for EES, Alan?
No, not as of right now. Just gonna see what ES wants to do for the rest of the week, and then we'll have a good idea for what it wants to do for the next upcoming week, right?
Yeah.
Let's go into NASDAQ, right? So we have NASDAQ on the daily, right? We have sell-side liquidity labeled out here. There's a daily imbalance high and low that traded through. As of right now, it took out buy side recently, and price is still hovering in this area here. They threw a nice wick and then came down very aggressively. I am looking for a deeper retracement lower, but as of right now, NAS is, in my opinion, kind of done with its weekly range weekly range, right? Like we see price run very, very aggressively higher, trade into buy side liquidity here. And I'm looking for either retracement or consolidation, right? I am looking for a little bit run lower. But as of right now on a daily, I'm not expecting too much of a move for the rest of the week. If it does do anything crazy, then it might just be setting up something for next week, right? Let's go into lower time frame. Right, we have some short-term sell-side liquidity here. There's inefficiency here, and it's the wick constant encroachment up there where I don't expect to see price get up to, but it could realistically get up there with the news tomorrow morning. All right, there is, I feel like, an influx of seller that joined in the market after that run higher. People start shorting, and they trapped a lot of buyers there, where a lot of people are trying to liquidate their orders and then get out their positions in the market. Right, I think there's a lot of people that are trying to either short this to continue going lower into sell side here or long it into this position. So I think there's a mix of both parties trying to short and buy this. So as of right now, it is kind of 50-50 for me. I could see the run lower, right? I could also start seeing them, like start pushing higher, trading back up into this range here. Right? I feel like a lot of people were trying to short this already. And if like big banks or big individuals like basically whales are shorting this, they're looking for this expansion move higher to run against them, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if it traded higher aggressively into this wick here and then starts selling off really aggressively, right? Because I feel like if this move gets really bullish, gets really animated, it's enough to kind of bait them into, oh, we're still going higher, and then turn on them very, very aggressively. And I think that's kind of what I would do if I was market maker. So that's kind of what I'm kind of looking for. But I'm not trying to push too hard, right? Like I think it's near the end of the week already. We had this massive move higher this week, trading even more aggressively higher. Potential have the week. And then right now we're kind of settling down. I want to see what they want to do for Thursday and Friday. But yeah, I think that should wrap up NASDAQ for me, right? Did you want to take over NASDAQ really quickly?
Yeah, so I had a couple trades that I would like to share with you guys. And yeah, let's move into it. If you have nothing else left to discuss on NASDAQ, Alan.
No. Go for it. Go for it.
Cool. So Monday, I didn't trade anything, non-event day. Oh, you have gold.
Oh yeah, let me cover gold before you go over Nasdaq then. So this is for that gentleman in our comments that asked for gold. Right, I labeled this bearish order block out for you. In the beginning of the week, we see price trade very aggressively towards it through this week, through this wick up there, through another wick taking out its own high here, and then trading up into that bearish order blocks wick. I want to see what I want to do from here, right? We see price trading up into the body of it and then reacting off it very aggressively. I am looking for this inefficiency here to see how they trade through it. If they trade through it nicely, then this would be the high. If they kind of throw a wick or something, or just trade kind of very shallow into this and then start retracing, then I'm looking for this high as buy side for them to run into. Maybe trade even higher, trading down up into these up candles here, right? And if they do go really move aggressively lower, they're going to run for this low here and then maybe even sell side down here, right? That's kind of what I'm looking at the moment for gold, right? So make sure, like I said already in our weekly outlook, that I personally don't trade gold. This is just my analysis on it. And if you want to kind of find a trade off this, make sure you use proper risk management, do your own due diligence and your analysis on gold.
Sounds good. If we're good with gold, I will move on to the trades that I took for the week so far. As I've said, Monday, no event day. So I'll be starting you guys off on Tuesday, post CPI here. This is the PM session short into sell side liquidity for NASDAQ. So just to go over why I took this trade, this short here was the trade. On the higher time frame, I saw that CPI pushed NASDAQ into buy side liquidity, pushed through it. You'll see it. This is the 1 minute chart. So if you guys zoom out, you guys can see that there's an old high that was taken. And because of that, I was looking for a trade into sort of lower. So in AM, we saw this push higher, and then I see market move lower and lower and lower, finally into the lunch consolidation here. And so noticing that there's this consolidation here and a move higher, taking out a pull of buy side here, as well as this breaker. On the 5 minute, it's more clear, but you can see that there's a swing high here, and we have another move that takes it out, and we move lower away from it. So I have my eye on this here, and I was looking for post 130 here to take my trade off for the PM session. So seeing all of this here, I was pretty bearish because we did take out buy side here, this swing high here, work lower one more time. So this is like a breaker in itself as well. And price running into the AM breaker here, as well as a 5 minute SIBI. You'll see if you're on the 5 minute. So these confluences add up to, oh, we're at a premium. Where does price want to go? My eyes look here, 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 especially these lunch lows. Like, oh, it has a pretty good chance to run those lows for sell side liquidity before doing anything else. So while I was on the chart, I saw an expansion away from this level after hitting this premium level PD array, as well as the breaker here. Made this imbalance. I see price trade back into it. So I kind of entered right here a little early. Sat through this drawdown. And then we saw price run lower. Pretty, I would say pretty simple trade setup. Main confluences I used was this purging of buy side here, this purging of buy side here and here, and using lower time frame premium PD arrays to kind of see how price was moving from premium to discount. So in my head, I did take this range low to this range high as a short-term kind of range that we were working in, so that we were, oh, okay, we're at a premium here. I want to see price move lower to hand off orders from premium to discount, and that's why I took this short. Hopefully that gave you guys some insight into trade setups using ICT's models. So this is pretty much the 2022 model. Moving on to the second setup of the week. This was today on Wednesday. So this is another PM session short using bearish order flow into sell side liquidity. So this was a trade I took on Tuesday, and I used the low of that to pair off the orders here. So seeing that earlier, we did talk about ES running into a monthly bearish order block. I did see that NQ was running into a very deep premium as well. I think it was a monthly rejection block. This was, and so seeing that price sensitivity to a premium, I was like, okay, order flow. I was looking for reasons for order flow to be bearish, and so we see that here. I rejected that, taking out the lows here, taking out this. Well, prior to this, I did see this run lower here. So I was like, oh, looking at this range here, I wanted to find a trade here to pair off orders into this sell side liquidity here. This low, it did stand out to me. This was a first partial target for me, and this was my TP. And in looking at reviewing this trade in hindsight, if you're on the 5-minute, you'll notice that the bodies here get wicked through, and the bodies respect these bodies here. So this tells me it's a turtle soup stop run. So that was something to look out for. Another thing I drew on was the daily sell side imbalance, buy side efficiency here. This the 50% level of that. If you guys go on that area of price and draw it out towards here, price does use this consequent encroachment level multiple times, and it's a very price sensitive level. That's something I would like to draw your guys' attention to as well. All right, moving on to the 1-minute chart, breaking down the setup. So these are my notes before I enter the trade. So I wanted to take out the previous day low here around 15,843. So on the monthly level, market ran into a premium level. As I said earlier, on the daily, we ran to the Pacific premium level, and I saw price sensitivity to that, and I was anticipating a market shifting order flow towards the downside. Intraday, I did see price run into the breaker, which I noted in last slide in a more macro view, and I see that price rejects it, and most likely was targeting the downside. I was also watching the dollar for bullish order flow as an additional confluence on the trade. So as you can see, we see that price takes out this buy side liquidity here into this gap here into the breaker on the 15-minute. I see price react to it pretty aggressively here. I was watching it here, and I was like, oh, okay, the market is signaling that it wants to move lower. So I was thinking that if price was able to fill this gap here, that we would be good. This would be the reaccumulation, and then it would start really moving price down. And so it does that here. We shoot for the previous day low, 15,482. Exceeds that a little bit. We see price sensitivity at the 50 of the CIBI, and that pretty much is it. This was like a 1 to 2.5 trade. Put my stop above this gap here because just to be safe, if price ran this aggressively, I wouldn't take this trade anymore. So this would be like a condition to kill the trade.
Sounds good, Leo. Sounds good. Yeah. I did also take shorts on NAS as well. I got burned on Tuesday, I think, and then I was able to do pretty well Wednesday. No, I got burned Monday, and then I was able to do well Tuesday and Wednesday. So pretty good up and down week so far, and I kind of want to keep it that way, especially when the upcoming week upcoming days of the week left are, in my opinion, going to be lower probability. So if you guys also took a W in your trading for this week, I recommend you guys to just kind of take it slow, like I already said, and just either call it a week or use lower risk when you trade tomorrow or Friday. All right. All right. I'll be also sharing my trades on Friday. And I'm just going to go through what I took this week for you guys and then kind of review the week alongside with Leo. I think that should be it. And we'll wrap up our video here. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Is there anything else you want to add for them, Leo?
No. Good luck for the rest of the week, guys.
Yeah. Good luck and good trading, you guys. We'll see you guys on Friday. Peace.
Take care. Take care.